Oh, my jam box is making noises. This is going to kind of be a crazy one. I try to make it 20 minutes so I can get on to the next call because I do have a Fast Start 2 call at 9 o'clock. And I will kind of play with this. We're going to have one every single week at the exact same time, and we're just going to keep growing and helping you guys and seeing what we can do. So what I want to start first, and I'm going to have Caitlin, you can type in on Facebook, and I'll kind of follow along both places. But first I want to do is, you guys are both in your first Fast Start period. I want to hear some successes. Tell me at least one success you've had recently with your business. Oh, Caitlin. Maybe Caitlin's not here. Can everybody hear me? Just a second. See if everybody's connected. Always go to Facebook if for some reason you cannot connect with me. Okay. Someone's not on. Okay, so Valerie, thank you. One, she said her success is that she signed on her first recruit and she is working on her possible second. That is amazing. That is a great, great thing. Recruiting often, people like to try to get hung up on that one. I don't get hung up on that one, obviously, because I have now a team of 160 people. But people do get hung up on that one. I think they have a hard time finding the way to share that, and we can work on that during these calls. I think that is amazing that Valerie is you're already working on that. That's wonderful. I'm going to see if Caitlin can respond to me. No, okay, she can't hear me at all. So we're just going to move ahead. So obviously, those of you who are listening on the recording, let's see if I can make this work. Those of you who are listening on the recording, I want you to sit down and while we're doing this, kind of follow along with us and jot down some successes you've had recently and send them to me. You can either send me a Facebook message or post on a Facebook page. On our team page, I would love to hear successes. We'll hopefully get a success story Sunday post up this Sunday, but I'm really bad about I should rewrite that. I'm not really bad about posting on Sundays. I tend to spend some time with my family on the weekends instead, which is great. So let me switch it so people can maybe see me. You can get to know me and what I actually look like. This is me. This is my office corner. These are my children. They're sleeping right now, hopefully. So basically housekeeping for this, just so that you can kind of get an idea. You should see the chat. You can kind of see it scroll by on the upper left-hand side of your screen if you're watching on the replay. I hope that's the upper right-hand side of your screen, actually. And then live, there's a chat, and Valerie, I see you do that. And I see that you said you had a boy 12 years after you had a girl. 3 girls. I would be very surprised if that happened for us. My husband would be very, very surprised. So I always wanted a boy. Haven't gotten yet. We'll see. I don't think that's going to happen. So that's the housekeeping. There's also like a toggle switch up at the top if you're live that you can play back and forth to make the screen size show more or less of the screen. You can kind of play with that while you're watching it too. So I want to kind of think about we have what? Oh my goodness, we only have like 15 minutes left. So I'm going to have to make these really succinct and better in subsequent versions. But what I want to talk about today is two things. One, I want to talk about brain training because, as you guys know from following me on the Facebook group, like that's my jam right now. Let me put a pun in there for you. My life and my business has turned around since I started training my brain, and since I read the book Train Your Brain by Dana Wilde. I think you can get the Kindle book for like $12 to $15. It is absolutely amazing. You can go to danawilde.com and sign up for her free trainings. She has them constantly. She has free podcasts at the Mind Aware Show. They are absolutely amazing. And basically, the premise is, and it's all based on like actual science, but the premise is you are creating your emotions from your thoughts, and that, so thought precedes emotion, and that when you are working from a certain emotion, no matter what you're doing, that affects how you see the world. So, for example, if you are negatively thinking like, I can't get bookings, I can't get bookings, I can't get bookings, and that's the thought process that's going on in your head, then you are going to respond to someone saying, oh, I'm not sure about having a party, differently than if you're saying booking is so easy. So here's one thing that I really want to talk to you about, bookings, because in your fast start period, obviously you're going to have your launch party, and most of the people who listen to this call will have already had their launch party or they're in the middle of it. And then from your launch party, you are hopefully getting bookings. And I want you to get as many bookings as you can. So this is a good one to start with, this idea that some people are saying, oh, it's really hard to get bookings. If you come at it from a different angle and you think to yourself, booking is so easy, then when you have someone, as I did tonight, who said, oh, I'm not really interested in a party, I don't really have the time, then I immediately go into, oh my gosh, let me tell you how wonderful our Facebook parties are. Facebook parties are great because you are able to do everything on your own time schedule. That's why I love doing Facebook parties as a consultant. But you kind of get to do everything on your own schedule, and your friends get to pop in and out. I'm doing a 5-day Facebook party right now. Friends get to pop in and out as they want. You as the hostess, you get to pop in and out as you want, or, but I do need you to post at least once a day and interact with your friends and stuff. But Facebook parties are so fun, and let me tell you more about how I run them. And then the person goes from, I don't have time to hold a party, to, wow, Facebook parties do sound really easy. Yeah, tell me more. And so I do think that switch that you make in your mind is just how you see the world. And so you'll start catching yourself, I hope you guys are going to start catching yourself hearing those negative scripts, like nobody wants to buy from me, nobody wants to book parties, nobody wants to join my team. And I want you to start catching them and calling yourself on them and busting yourself is how Dana puts it. Bust yourself. Bust that negative thinking and start. First, the very first part is being aware of it, but then also starting to train your brain to really work on turning that around and being more positive. So when you feel good, and you are, and those neural pathways are open when you feel good, they actually help you think of things and work things differently. And your brain actually works better when you are in a good mood, which makes complete sense. Which is why I am trying to really, help us stay positive on the team page. Whenever I chat with someone, I always try to work through and make it a positive experience. That's why I love the feel-good music that Pharrell Williams, Happy is one of my favorite, all time. If I'm feeling down or if I feel like something amazing needs to happen, I put on that music before I even post in my parties or before I start responding to messages, just to really make myself smile and put a smile on my face. So really getting yourself in a spot where things are good for you and feeling better will really help everything. So the next step is how to get yourself in that spot. And for some people, this is going to be a stretch. And for some people, this is going to click right away. But really, it's the power of your mind and the power of your conscious mind to make these things. And the idea behind all this is that you start using mantras and start changing your story. So instead of saying, I'm having a hard time booking parties, you can say something like, and this is how you kind of do a mini rant and change your story. You can start saying, I was feeling like I was having a hard time booking parties, but things are going to turn around for me. My friends are really interested in jams. I had a really good lunch party. I had people who were willing to buy. And all I need to do is start following up with those people and start talking to those people and showing them how easy it is to be on Facebook, because they're already on Facebook anyway and they want free products. So why wouldn't they want to book a party? And then all of a sudden, your mind is feeling better about, you're not imposing on them by asking them to do a party. Like, no, you are giving them the option to get a great shopping spree. And I keep looking at this box. My husband just put a Jamberry box in front of me, which wasn't a very nice thing to do while I'm trying to record a call. I can't wait to get in it. So anyway, so we're going to talk about mantras. We have about 5 to 10 minutes left. So first, I'm going to give you some practical tips for booking parties, because I did have someone say, like, how do you turn your launch party sales into booking parties? Basically, you ask, you follow up with them, you build. Okay, first of all, probably from your launch party, these people are your friends and they do have experience with you. So you already have some sort of relationship. You can say to them, it's really important for me to be successful in this business. It's really important that I get out of my warm market, that I get past my friends and I can be successful in this business. And the easiest way for me to get outside of my warm market is for you as my friend to host a party. This is going to work for some of your friends. Some of your friends are going to be like, I so want you to be successful that, yeah, I will host a party for you. And then in the meantime, they get amazing jams and amazing products that they already love, right? Because you're not asking these questions if they haven't already tried the jams. So that's one thing. The second thing is you do that 2x2x2 follow-up that Jamberry does talk about. If you follow up in 2 days, you follow up in 2 weeks, maybe 2 weeks after that or a week after that, depending on if at the 2 week mark they haven't put their jams on. And then you continue to follow up. It's not bothering them. You are now in a business transaction. They expect some sort of customer service follow-up, okay? So you follow up with them. And you start building those relationships, and you start saying, this is something that's really amazing to me. Another thing that kind of helps with your friends booking parties off of your launch party is that when you have your launch party and you close your launch party and you get that box of jams, here, let me get mine out. I'm not going to open it up. This is what just came for me just now. When you get your box of jams, you can set it all out, take a picture, and post in your launch party or post on your friend, profile page, or have your friends over and play with your jams. Or, be positive and exciting about that and say, look at what I got for hosting my party. And then you can also kind of slip that in, like, plus I got 30% commission. And people can start thinking about, like, wow, maybe I also want to be a Jamberry consultant. That's a bonus on top of that. So that's kind of how I booked my parties off my launch party. I did flat out ask my friends. I did flat out say, look at these amazing hostess rewards you get. I did flat out say, I think it would be a great experience for you and your friends to get together and I'll come over and we can have a home party. And with my launch party, that's how I did that. Valerie, are you still here? Is that making sense to you? Is anybody else? Let's see if Caitlin got on. Caitlin, I asked you a question on Facebook. Are you on? Okay, so Valerie's on board and gifted. Let's see if Caitlin was able to join. I hope so. And now I have just put too many tabs up on my screen. I can't tell how to get back. Okay. One more time, just check if Caitlin gets on. Okay, so with about 5 minutes left, what I want to do is see if I can show you another picture on my screen. Let's see if I can do want you guys to think about these questions. I'm going to close me out. Nope. There it goes. Nope. Not the right one at all. Let's try a different one. Share. Okay, am I back? Because I got lost. I should be back. I'm hoping I'm back. Let's see. I was trying to. I'm glad I'm back. I was trying to share this file, but it's not going to work. So I was going to do it my webcam, so you didn't have to look at that weird thermometer. Okay, so we're going to do this without the image, since I can't quite figure that out yet. How do I want to open this file? I want to open it this way, please. Basically, I want you to think about these thoughts, and then we're going to start playing around with a mantra that's going to work for you over the next couple of days. And if it's not working for you after the end of the 3 days, I would go for, once we craft it, I would say use it through Sunday. And if things aren't falling into place by Sunday, I'll check in with you guys on Monday and see how it's going. So you can I'm going to post this on the team page too, but how to create your own mantra is pretty simple. First of all, you figure out your area that you need to create your mantra with. And that's what I was going to screen share, but it wasn't really working yet. Basically, you answer these questions. The thermometer is still up, or am I up? That's not the question you need to answer. The question is, okay, good. The question is, if you could change one thing about your business, what would you change? The biggest frustration I have in my business right now is the skill I most want to learn about for my business is, and if I could have a magic bullet to fix one thing about my business right now, it would be to, and then finally, I know I will be successful at this business if only I, and again, I will post it on the team page in just a little bit, but once you kind of answer those, that will kind of give you an idea of what you need to focus on with your mantra, whether it's sales, whether it's bookings, leading a team, building a team, whatever that is, okay? And then once you get that, and again, I will post this on the team page, you will be able to start creating a mantra. And to create a mantra, you just take the one thing that you want to change and make your statement in a positive. So not so something simple as bookings are easy, or making bookings are easy, or something like that. You make your statement in the positive. You make it as though it's already happened. So my calendar is full, and you make your statement believable, and it goes for a really good emotional aspect or impact. Those are the 4 things. So if it doesn't feel good to say booking is easy, then don't say booking is easy. If you want to say in March my calendar was full, that could be possible because you can, between now and the end of the month, spend some time to do that. Whatever it is that you really need to do. And I will play with this on the Facebook group over the next day or two to help you guys really create some mantra that really work. Then you're going to want, once you figure out what your mantra is, I really would like to hear you guys, have you guys say them like seriously as much as you can. 75, 100 times a day. A sticky note somewhere where you're going to see it, maybe some alarms on your phone so it's going off every couple of hours to remind you. And this has seriously changed the way I do my business, okay? This is how I recruited 9 people in 2 months. This is how I went from, $2,000 to $3,000 in team sales, in December to $8,000 in team sales in February. This is all I've done. Nothing else has changed except my mindset. I have the same team except for the new people who have come aboard. and then those 9 new people. I have everything else is the same. So with that, I know we don't have much time before the next call starts, but Valerie, do you have any questions? Or Caitlin, if you have any questions, you can post them on the team right now, and I will answer them. I'm checking the questions, and then we can move off so that the next. Okay, nothing from. Doesn't look like there's anything from Caitlin right now. Okay, yeah, go for it, Valerie, about the UK. Oh, wonderful. Okay, so Valerie is asking how to approach her friends in the UK. Basically, what I would do is just send them a message and say, hey, friend, I am a Jamberry consultant in the US, and okay. Sorry, I'm reading your chat. I'm trying to talk to you. So you can basically say, hey, friend, I'm a Jamberry consultant in the US, and I really love these great little nail stickers. They're vinyl adhesives that last up to 2 weeks, and all you need is your blow dryer. And give your little 30-second speech. Pop a picture up there, okay? Are you interested in trying a sample? We launch on April 5th in the UK, but you can try a sample now. Okay, so then they're going to say, well, yeah, that sounds amazing. Let me try a sample. Then you're going to send them to, and I'll link this on the Facebook group, but it's jamberry.com/UK, whatever. I'll link it. UKEN, I think. Okay, so then you're going to link them to this, and it pops up as an interest page. It's your website. So Jamberry UK will send them a sample. It's one of the spring samples, and then Jamberry UK will send them information about the launch from your Jamberry alias, okay? Basically, then once they have their samples, then you can add them, or have requested their samples, you can add them into our interest group, and you can see if they want more information, and they will not be able to host a party through you. You have to host through your local market. So US to US, Canada to Canada, UK to UK, you can only host in your market. So at that point, when they either want to buy from you, because they can buy from you from UK to US on the 5th, they can do that. You can get the order in. But then if they want to host, they either need to find a UK consultant, and we can host through the team. Or at that point, you can say, well, let me tell you about how amazing it is to be a consultant, and even ahead of them, really. But and kind of focus on the consultant route. But first, you want to get their jams on their hands. So that website that I will link for you, better than the one I just did in the chat, because I'm not sure that's right. That will happen. Did that make sense for you, Valerie? Okay, wonderful. And we can chat more in a PM or on the team page. This is probably a great team page thread. I know that Sarah, who just joined our team page, is somebody I met from a friend, and this is basically the conversation I had from her, like verbatim, the conversation I had from her, except she already knew how fun jams were, and she had already requested a sample from the general Jamberry site, and so she just needed a consultant to work with in the U.S., which my friend connected us, and then she has decided to join. So I'm really excited. And that's basically how I work that. So I am going to turn off. Hi, Carla. I'm going to let Valerie move out. We're going to start moving the second fast start people in, and we're just going to continue on. I'm going to give it about 2 or 3 minutes with the happy music while we make that transition. Okay, you guys? So hopefully, you're welcome, Valerie. Let's see if I can make the happy music work. We'll start it at the beginning. We'll turn the volume up. Okay, let's see if this works. Carly, you should be hearing music soon. Hopefully. Hopefully. Oh, here it comes. Now let's see if I can turn off the recording. Okay, ladies, I think I may have figured out all of the issues with our thing. And the last one, I am hoping that everyone can hear me. I believe that Penny is on. I have Carla here with us, and I am going to turn on my webcam, and I'm going to record this. I don't think the recording worked last time. I hope it did. I'm going to record it this time. I think. Maybe not. Start meeting, please. I'm going to need to play with this some more. Everyone should be able to see me in my little corner office here. And Penny, you are on audio. I think that's you. It could be somebody else. Whoever's on our phone. You can't see me. And I am not recording it because it won't let me record. That makes me sad. Let's see what I can do before I start. Maybe it's still recording from the last one. I can't figure out how to make that button work. Okay. Well, I'm just going to move ahead because I'd rather not waste our time, and we can figure that out next time. Let me post really quick that we are on, and they can do that. Okay. Okay. So what I am going to do, and Carla had written some questions in, which makes me really excited. I am going to start basically by giving some housekeeping stuff on how this webinar works. You should be able to chat. There's a little chat message bar if you are on live via the computer. If you're watching the recording, which I have no idea if it's working right now because my button isn't working, if you are watching that, then you should be able to see the chat scroll through on your upper right. There's like a little bar that should open and close the screen to show things, and I am going to figure out the rest of this as we go. Basically, I want to start with giving you really quick shout outs in that, oh, you see, but you don't hear. Not good. Okay, let me reconnect maybe. Let's see. Click to you. I'm really confusing my thing. Okay. Can't hear me, she says. Okay, you know what we're gonna do? I am really sorry to do this. Penny, I think you're on the call. I'm really sorry to do this. I think we're gonna have to reset it and start over again. So call me back, I hope. If not, we'll figure this out and we'll just know this is a practice run. Okay. I am going to clear everything from the meeting.